everyone. We're here in lovely downtown Oxford, Michigan today, and we're tracing some railroad lines that used to come through this back alley here behind Main Street, which is M24 now. And right along this little alleyway that's a road now, that at one time was called Edison Street, is where the Detroit Interurban Electric Railway used to run. And it may have ran right through here along the road, or maybe just to the side of the road over here. It's kind of hard to tell on the map, and things have changed so much over the years. But anyway, I think it was right down through here, and on the corner over there on the left, right where that for rent sign is where the station used to be. And over here on the right, this old building here at one time was a gas station. I remember that. Before that, it was a blacksmith shop. On the old maps, it's marked as a blacksmith shop. I remember it as a gas station, or at least my dad told me it was a gas station, one or the other. But anyway, the interurban station was right here on this corner. And then the tracks came down this road here where we're going now. And if you watch, there's something interesting here a lot of people don't know. This road here used to actually be a tunnel. When they brought the railroad line to it, didn't actually interchange and cross with the Pontiac, Oxford, and Northern Grand Trunk line. It actually had to go underneath, under an underpass. And you can see how high the sidewalk is elevated over here on the left. That used to be the grade going up alongside of the tunnel. That was the tunnel embankment over there. And this road that I'm on, instead of going up on an angle following that grade, the road actually dipped down where that yield sign is, where the railroad tracks were. And so the road actually went underneath here, and there was a tunnel here. And we can see the railroad crossing grade here on the old Pontiac, Oxford, and Northern line, which is the PO&N Trail now. Also later part of the Grand Trunk Railroad line, which went from Pontiac up to Port Austin. And this line here, the interurban, continued out straight north of town this way. There was also connecting tracks for the New York Central line. It was called the Detroit and Port Huron Railroad. No, not Detroit. Detroit and Bay City Railroad at one point. And this whole area right up in here to the right, up into the area where the old gravel pit used to be, at one point was like a rail stockyard where they would rearrange the freight cars and get the trains set up the way they needed them to be for the different trips, and interchange of freight cars between the different lines here. That would have been up this way, and the railroad grade went up that way too. I don't know if we're going to be able to see anything, but I've been told on the back side of this building here is the old railroad barn where they've worked on the freight cars, the maintenance building. And I think it could have possibly be that tall white part that's still up there in the center of this factory. The factory bought the property and added on to the building, and there's just very little left of the old railroad service barn back here, from what I understand. I don't know if you can see anything of it, and we can't get all the way around the building here to see anything, but we're just going to loop around. But I think we can see that part sticking up there. The high part of the building there used to be the railroad repair facility for the freight cars here. So we're going to loop around. And there was also a depot building here for the PO&N Railroad, the Pontiac, Oxford, and Northern. That would have been back this way. We're going back this way where we came from. Let's see. Looking to see if there's anything else. You can still see that rise in the road coming up ahead where the, instead of going up, we're right about here, this road would have shot downward on an angle and went underneath that railroad grade. And there's nothing left at all on this side here really to show us how that would have worked. Actually, the only thing left is that part of that abutment wall over on the other side. And I'll post up a picture, if I can mash it up into the video here, of what that looked like back in the day. You can still see in one of the old photographs around 1910 or so, 1915, you can see that edge of that sidewalk there, that high part, clearly visible in the photograph. And we'll try and get a picture of that up and mash it in here and mix it up so you can see it together. It's pretty cool to compare it then and now how it used to look. Oh, and right down the road grade there to the, on the right side of the tracks was the depot, the Oxford station for the Pontiac-Oxford Northern Railroad, which we'll put a picture of that up on here too in the video for you to see. There's nothing left of the depot. The depot was torn down quite a few years ago. And this is actually Depot Street, which at one point you would come this way, and Depot Street would turn to the right here and go down and connect. But, you know, this is just a residential facility now, and the Depot Street has been cut off. It used to go straight in here to where this building is and turn right, and the depot would set probably right about here where this parking lot is, if I'm not mistaken. If I remember right in here to where these two cars are would have been where the depot was. And across the street from the depot was a fairly large hotel, which surprised me. I never knew that hotel was there until I was looking at the old maps that were posted up courtesy of one of the greatest train historians of Oakland County on here. We'll put a little link to him on here too in recognition of his help in this project. We'll let that fire truck ambulance to go first. He probably got more important things to do than we do. But, yep. Anyway, this is our little tour around this railroad junction intersection here in Oxford. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hang on, we got one more railroad here to show you where it crossed at. This is the actual New York Central grade right here, where this hump is, and you can see down that way is where the railroad grade used to go this way, and right along through here is where it came through this way. It serviced this lumber yard for many years, and the Hampton Block Factory one street over was also serviced by that line that came out from Rochester through Lake Orion and Oxford up to Lapeer and curved over through Columbiaville. I have another video about the Columbiaville right-of-way and depot up on YouTube you can check out. Again, that was the old Detroit and Bay City line, which became part of the New York Central system. And we'll probably do another video about the New York Central system, but it's kind of cool to see where it crossed over the different tracks here. So there's actually 3 separate railroad lines here in Oxford at one point, and now there are none. But thanks for watching. Have a great day. And check out my other videos. Bye for now.